So a few days ago, this article came across my feed. I made a snarky comment about it, kind of just shared it and let it ride. But I feel like it deserves to be addressed. So we're going to get into it. State of Michigan asks for volunteers to help house migrants. So it is officially coming to our door. Not that we should be surprised, but if you loosely pay attention, then you might be a little shocked. The Office of Global Michigan is looking for resident volunteers to house migrants in their homes and help integrate them into U.S. society. So, like my snarky post, I said, if you have room in your heart, do you have room in your homes for these people? The Michigan wants you to take them in. Now, this is a key point I want to just put out there. The Michigan Department of Labor and Economic Development says residents who participate must make a 90-day commitment. As part of the refugee support program, residents are asked to help with relocation needs due to the border crisis and make a home in the state. The Michigan Department of Labor and Economic Development. Who is that? Department of Labor and Economic Opportunity, LEO, provides the connections, expertise, and innovative solutions to drive continued business growth, build vibrant communities, create affordable housing, generate tourism, and attract and retain key talent to fill Michigan's vast pipeline of opportunities. They are filling a need. They are bringing these people in to work. When you bring in these people, when you bring, let's say you want to bring some of these people in with the goodness of your heart, you have an extra room, you're bringing a family or just like one person in, whatever. They're asking you got to pick this person up at the airport, provide them or help them find housing, enroll their children into school. So you're just like their parent. You're coming in and you're being their your big brother big sister program for illegals. I don't know how to better put it. I'm sorry, like this just frustrates me. So it's under this disguise of humanitarianism, because you're thinking these people are coming here, they're fleeing something horrible, and I'm bringing them into my home because they have nowhere else to go, and this is just going to help them get on their feet. It's kind of true, but it's kind of not, because the reason they're here, the reason these people are coming is because they are given. I'm not on TikTok, but there are literal tutorials on how to get to America, because when you get to America, they're going to find you housing. They're going to give you a debit card so you can buy food and groceries. They're going to pay for room and board. You're going to get health care. So they're like, hey, things aren't that great where I'm at. Not necessarily fleeing actual war or whatever. They're just in a situation where they're like, hey, there's all this stuff going on in America, and I know that as long as I get across that border, I'm safe. I'm there, and I'm entitled to all these things. That's what's creating the crisis, the border crisis. And there's so many of you people, I'm sorry to get angry, but so many of you people just don't really understand what's going on. So I just want you to know that this is a drive to get people here, to put them to work. And right now, they're not going to be able to exactly get into, but maybe they are, because that's the goal. They are trying to allow these people in to have all the rights, have the jobs. There's a long-term goal for this. So let me stop right there. And so that was my big point there. Okay. So what's the Welcome Corps? Sponsoring refugees, strengthening communities. Have you watched the news unfolding around the world and wished there was something you could do? The Welcome Corps is an exciting new service opportunity for Americans interested in welcoming refugees seeking freedom and safety. As a sponsor, you work together in supportive groups to secure housing, greet individuals and families at the airport, enroll children in school, and help adults find jobs. Experts will be there to guide you every step of the way, and you already have the most important skill you need to succeed: an understanding of daily life in your community and a desire to lend a hand. So this article is telling you, it's asking people to join this and be a part of this new world. This is a takeover. So basically, everything that these immigrants, these illegal immigrants, are being told is true, to the fact that we're rolling out the red carpet for them. We are doing all these things for them. But what I did when I did look into some of this, the aid, a lot of the aid they get is for a select amount of time, so like 8 months. And with this the sponsorship program, you have to commit to at least 90 days. So at the end of 90 days, say you don't get along with these people, you're kicking them out. Maybe they'll be able to find another sponsor family, or maybe they'll just go out on their own. And we can't keep track of all these people. If you understand the numbers of people that are coming across, this is not sustainable, because these people, when they come here and they're given all these things, they're given the welfare that should be going to people here. And we all are aware that everywhere we go, there's help wanted signs everywhere. So there's people not even working. These people are probably, that left the workforce, are drawing on welfare themselves. So this system is due to just totally dry out. And what the goal is with these, bringing all these immigrants in is, when you bring them in, they get here, they get the help, and then the help is gone. And then all of a sudden they have nothing or very little, and they have no way to get back home. And when they realize that maybe this wasn't the place for them, they're trapped. And I guarantee the next step, the next phase of this whole deal is they're going to give them citizenship, which is going to give them voting rights. And because they're going to be really busy working and whatever, they're just going to kind of have the vague idea that the Democratic Party and Joe Biden was the one that let me here. He's the one that gave me all those opportunities in the beginning. And yes, it's very hard, but that's all I know. So I'm going to vote for these people. It sounds crazy, but that's exactly what's going on. And if you see what's going on with Trump right now, and what's going on in New York, how they're literally going to try and seize his properties over basic real estate practices, our country is over. It's really wild. I feel like I'm like Alex Jones Jr., but it's done. We have been, I think since Trump won, it's been game over. They've been attacking and tearing apart everything. They being the left and the Democrats, when they lost control, because Trump started exposing stuff. And as bad as he is, I'm not Trump fanatic. I love Trump. I'll call myself ultra MAGA, but I also am pretty fair when it comes to stuff, because like I hate him when he talks about his vaccine, warp speed and all that. It's not a flex to me, because I'm not going to get into it here, but the vaccines killed a lot of people. So that's probably part of the reason why the workforce is missing some people. So Trump, that's bad. There's a few other, there's so much we could say. But at the end of the day, what is happening before our eyes is something that's happened time and time again. In one of my previous videos I made about the border, I talked about watching a YouTube show, Who Do You Think You Are? It was Tim McGraw. He was tracing family ancestors, and he found out that like some ancestors came from Germany to America via a Queen of England who promised land to these people if only they just get on this boat and go. And once they got to America, they found out, oh, the trip wasn't free. You don't just get land. You have to be our indentured servant. So this is kind of what's going on. I have another example of it from Sharon Osbourne's episode of Who Do You Think You Are, where her relatives go from, I want to say, Ireland to Massachusetts.
In the middle of the 19th century, crop failures and famines struck Europe, causing death and suffering across many countries. It was particularly bad in Ireland, where around 1 million people died after a failure of the potato crop. And this may have been why Thomas O'Donnell, who had grown up during this period, decided to go to America. Thomas was part of a massive European migration to the United States. But Sharon wants to know why Thomas and her great-great-grandmother Catherine chose to live in Fall River.
There's a travel guide that's called the Tainter's Guide that you could read to learn about the glorious qualities of the communities which you were traveling to, including Fall River, Massachusetts. So this was enticing people to come to Fall River.
Its streets are handsomely adorned with shade trees, adding much to the comfort and beauty of the place. It says that Fall River contains many elegant residences.
Still does.
And the sunset views from here are said to rival those in Italy.
So I have something for you here.
And this is the city of Fall River, Massachusetts, 1877.
Yes. At this point, there's 45,000 people living there. It was a small town that grew very fast. In 1 year, in 1872, 6,000 people came.
Wow.
So it's growing rapidly and a bit chaotically, although we can see the mills are well laid out.
Yeah. So many mills all around. All of this here and leading all the way up to there, and around here it's all industrial mills.
Yes.
It's unbelievable. I saw yesterday a pamphlet on Fall River, and it was saying how the sunsets are really equal to what you see in Italy, and it's like, where? So all of that pamphlet was just a terrible enticement to get these people here. With all of this industry going on, there must have been a constant cloud over here. Must have been a terrible place to live.
We have to understand. All my life, you always hear, and I'm sure you have too, you hear that if you don't know your history, you're doomed to repeat it. And it always was just a saying or whatever. I never actually comprehended it or pondered it, but now I start to see it because I was just watching those shows as a way of unplugging and just not doing politics. But then they have those historic tidbits and you realize, holy crap, this stuff is repeating itself over and over again. And if you don't know your past, then it's a lot easier to just ignore what's going on now because you're not connecting the dots. So this is getting a little long, but at the end of the day, God is in control and we are all here at this time for a reason. So I don't know, let's just kind of enjoy the show and fight back. Fight back if it's in you. If you feel like you have something to say, just say it. Who cares what people think? So with that being said, all right, thanks for watching. And I'm sure I'll be seeing you guys soon.